Hi everyone, Kendall here with Lassie Llama Creations. Today we're going to be making a possum. This is a beginner-friendly crochet tutorial and I am coming from my Learn How to Crochet kits. These kits come with all the supplies you need, everything you could want and need to learn how to crochet, as well as these lovely tutorials and a full PDF pattern for right and left-handed. If you're not coming from one of the kits, you're going to be needing medium weight for worsted yarn in gray, white, black, and pink, 10mm safety eyes, stitch markers, tapestry needle, scissors, and stuffing, as well as a 5mm crochet hook. If you're interested in following from one of the kits, I have it linked down below. You can get it from my website, and again, it has everything you need. I also have some other kits on there as well. Scooter says he's ready, so let's jump into the tutorial. To start our possum, I want to start with our magic ring. Now, if you're using the magic ring guide, that's going to be a separate video. I also have it linked down below. And that will kind of help you walk through your guide, which is like the absolute easiest way to make a magic ring. I'm going to show you how to do it on your hand. I'm starting with my white yarn in my tail. I'm going to cross it around and make an X on my hand. I'm going to hold it in the middle. With my crochet hook, I'm going to go under and then over, and I'm going to scoop this underneath. So I'm going to take it and pull it through. I'm going to twist it up a little bit, pinch, and take it off my hand. This is the yarn that's attached to the skein, or the ball. And I'm going to pull that and do something called a chain. A chain is when we place our yarn on top of our hook and pull through. And that's a magic ring. We're going to put our stitches here. Let me show that to you again. I'm going to form an X on my hand, hold in the middle, under, over, pulling through, pinching, taking it off my hand, and then pulling with the yarn attached to the skein and doing the chain. This is our magic ring, but now we have to put 6 single crochets on our magic ring. A single crochet is like one of the most basic types of stitches. It's going to be used in basically all of my crochet kits and a ton of amigurumi and stuffed animals. This is the most basic crochet stitch. It's used everywhere. To start, I'm going to insert my hook into the middle of my loop, my ring. And we're going to do that yarn over, which is when we place that yarn on top of our hook. And we're going to pull through. So you have 2 loops on your hook. I'm going to repeat, yarning over and pulling through both loops. So you're back to 1 loop on your hook, but you have 1 single crochet now. So again, through the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. It's our second. This is our third. 4, 5, and 6. Starting to crochet a little bit of cat hair into mine as well. Guess my cats were sitting on the table earlier. Our tail is the end of our yarn, and now we get to pull and close our circle, and that's round 1 with our 6 single crochets. You can see each stitch is like this little V or little oval. So that's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. For the next round, we're gonna single crochet 1 stitch in every stitch. So we have 6. At the end of this round, we'll still have 6. Normally I would use a stitch marker, which I'll explain how to use in a little bit, but I think they kind of get in the way when you're working on something so small. So I'm just going to keep track in my head, 6 stitches. The first one's always a little tight, and it's not you, and it's her. I'm going to insert my hook into the very first stitch that I made under both of the lines and make a single crochet. And that's 1. I'm going to continue working around, so I have 6. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, 2, into the next one, 3, then 4, 5, and then 6. Now I can put my stitch marker in. I'm gonna use this pink one today. I'm gonna place it in the very last stitch I just made, which would show the end of round 2. The next round, round 3, is to increase 6 times. Don't worry, an increase is super easy. It's the same thing you've been doing, but we're gonna place 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So we're still working in the same direction. I'm going to go in the next stitch, do 1 single crochet, but then before I move on, I'm going to put my hook back in the same stitch and make a second. That way our 6 single crochets is going to become 12 because you have 2 in each one. So moving around, I'm going to do 1 and then 2. Next one, 1 and then 2. I'm going to work around. That tail from our magic ring, you're going to want on the inside. We're working on the outside. Take out my marker because we gotta do 1 more increase. There we go. And you can count your stitches if you'd like here, but don't forget to put your stitch marker back in so that you know the end of the next round. Gotta get myself some more yarn. The next round is 12 single crochets. So no increases. We're just going to place 1 single crochet in every stitch so that our 12 stitches remain 12. So I'm just going around 1 stitch in every stitch. Taking out the marker and doing the last one. And putting the marker back in. You can start to see it's like pointing a little bit, it's starting to look like a little nose for our little possum. Our next round is going to be 1 single crochet and then an increase. So it's like a little series of 3. So the next stitch we'll do 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch we'll do an increase, those 2 single crochets. 1 and then 2. 1 and then a double. And we're going to do this for the whole round. The next round, you're going to place 1 single crochet in every single stitch, just like we've been doing. You're gonna start seeing the pattern here as we continue on, making our cone shape bigger. The next round is gonna be 2 single crochets and then an increase. So it's gonna go 1, 1, double. So 1, next stitch 1, and then an increase. And we're gonna repeat this for the whole round. After this, you're going to do 1 round of 1 single crochet in every stitch. So finish this, and the next round, 1, 1, 1, 1 in all the stitches. The next round, we're gonna be doing 3 single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and then our increase. And we will do that for the whole round. Now we're gonna be done with the white, so that means we need to switch to our gray yarn. Let me find the tail. Okay. So to switch colors, it's super easy because you're gonna be doing the exact same thing to make a single crochet. So I'm gonna insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, but instead of finishing with the white, we're going to finish with the gray. So I'm gonna loop the gray on and pull through. Make sure I'm crocheting with the yarn attached to the skein and not the tail. And I'm going to continue my single crochets. The first one's always like a little loose, don't worry. I like to do about 2 or 3 to kind of lock the gray in place. And then on the back, I'm going to cut my white. And I'm going to make a square knot with my 2 tails, just so I know nothing's going to come apart. You can trim it if it gets in your way, just don't cut it too close because you don't want it to come apart. For the next 9 rounds, oh, 9 rounds? Excuse me. For the next 14 rounds, there we go, you're going to be putting 1 single crochet in every single stitch with the gray. We don't really need a stitch marker because you're going to be able to see the beginning, but you're just going to go around and around and around 14 times in this gray yarn so that you have the body. All right, now we have something that's starting to look like a possum. But we're going to add the embroidered nose and the eyes here, and that's really going to help us all come together. So I have my eyes, and we're going to place them between rounds 7 and 8, about 8 stitches apart. So I'm going to start from the front. There's my magic ring. Yep, right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to place 1 eye. And then about 8 stitches apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But of course you could also play around with it, whatever you like for your possum. He looks a little silly. These are the backs. So we're just gonna push them on the eyes so they are nice and secure and they won't come out. Do it with the other eye. Bam. He's so silly. Let's add the nose. I'm gonna cut a nice long piece of pink yarn. And I wanna put it on my tapestry needle. Starting from the back or the inside. I'm gonna start embroidering the nose. It's not gonna be anything fancy unless you want it to be. I'm just going to stitch a bunch of straight lines. I can zoom this out a little bit, that will help. It looks squished and weird, but I'm gonna go over it a bunch of times. Just doing this little straight stitch, pulling out the cat hair I'm picking up. So I was working on the body, cats came back, because they had to be a part of it too. I like my nose to be very full, so I just keep on going around and around till I'm happy with it. But it can be as big or as small as you would like it to be. Cool thing about crochet, you can always change it to what you like. You don't have to follow the pattern exactly. Okay, maybe one more, if I can get it right where I want it to be. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, that's it. I'm gonna poke the pink yarn back inside. Turn them inside out, and I'm just gonna tie a knot. I'm gonna trim it and then tie a knot. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, it's pretty secure already, but this is just to like triple check it's not gonna come apart. What? Looks like a little like hand puppet right now or something. Okay, I'm gonna tuck all those tails inside. I'm gonna put my crochet hook back in and a stitch marker. You might want to try to make your color change at the bottom. I kind of forgot when I was adding the eyes. It's nothing crazy, but if you want a cleaner look, it should go on the bottom. Now we're going to start stuffing and closing this. Our next round is 3 single crochets and then a decrease. If an increase is 2 stitches in one, a decrease is combining 2 stitches into one. So we're going to start with our 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then for our decrease, you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through all 3. And we're going to repeat. So 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then our decrease, insert, yarn over, pull through, insert the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, repeat for the entire round. For the next round, it's going to be 2 single crochets and then our decrease. So 1, and then 2, and then our decrease. And you're going to repeat for the entire round. Okay, before we make the next round, we're going to start stuffing. So I have my stuffing bag, and I'm going to open it up. You don't have to use all the stuffing. There's certainly extra in your kit, but the trick is you want to pull it apart into small clumps and place it individually. And maybe don't do it directly on your string. There we go. Let me show you again. There we go. Small clumps, place it in. Small clumps, push it in. And you want it to be shaped how you want it to be. So you want to make sure you're keeping that cone shape so it looks all pointy and nose-like. If you don't like the pink showing through, you can make sure your stuffing's you put the pink tails like in the middle of your stuffing. Takes a little playing around with. Doesn't always bother me. Sometimes it shows up a lot and then sometimes it doesn't. Just kind of depends where they sit. Yeah, but that looks a little better. Make sure you're starting at the nose and kind of working your way to the body. Okay, happy with the white. Let's go to the gray. It's gonna be nice and round. Cutie. Okay, maybe like one little bit. Okay. Next round is 1 single crochet and then a decrease. As you're working around, you might just want to like push the stuffing in. You can also keep on adding a little bit more stuffing until you're ready. So next round's gonna be 1 single crochet and then a decrease. Then the round after is going to be 6 decreases. And then I'll show you how to close up the bottom. Okay, we have this little tiny hole. I'm gonna cut my yarn. I'm leaving quite a bit so I have some room to work with. And then we're gonna pull this loop so that it's not a loop anymore. Pull it through. I'm gonna put my gray tail on my tapestry needle. And then we're gonna sew this closed. I'll admit, it doesn't really matter how you do it as long as it stays closed. I like to think of it like a cinch bag. So I'm gonna go through all of the remaining stitches. If it's a little bit more than 6, a little bit less than 6, that's a-okay. Pulling tight. And then I'm gonna tie a knot and place it right on the bottom, as close to the body as I can get. Now, instead of just cutting off our yarn, because that's gonna come apart, we're gonna do this thing called weaving in our ends. So we're gonna take it, this is where it's coming out. I have it on my needle. I'm gonna poke right next to it and poke out anywhere that's gray. Now we can cut it. Because it has a couple inches inside the stuffing, so it's a lot harder for it to come undone. And now we have the body. But we gotta add some more detail so that it truly looks like a possum. To make our tail, we're gonna start with a slip knot. If you've made a slip knot before for something else in life, it's the exact same thing. You're gonna twist and pull through. These have a little knot. It should come undone when you pull it. Twisting, pulling through. I'm gonna insert my crochet hook into the loop and then pull it so that it's snug on my hook. We're then gonna do our chains, which is when we place that yarn on top and pull through. We're gonna make 16. So you're gonna place the yarn on top and pull through. I'm holding the bottom and I'm gonna move up for each chain. I find this the easiest way, so I still have tension. That was 1 chain, and then 2. I'm also, as you can tell, turning my hook down to pull through. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So we have our chains, but now we're gonna go back the other direction and add single crochets, so it's a little thicker. We're gonna skip the chain we just made and go into the next one. So technically, yes, it does matter where you insert your crochet hook into the chain, but a little secret for beginners, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna look very, very similar. So I'm just gonna insert my hook anywhere in that 15th chain and then make a single crochet. Moving on to the next chain. Insert single crochet. If you find that you skipped one or you added a double in one of the chains, that's okay. That is totally okay. It won't super be noticeable. If you want, you can take it apart, or just this crochet kit comes with plenty of extra yarn, specifically extra pink. So if you need to make another tail, you can. But I've designed all of my beginner crochet kits to allow for some accidents, some mistakes, because we're all learning. So it should still look like a possum at the end. Okay, I got a few more single crochets. It's starting to curl up on me a little bit, which I think is really cute. Not intentional, but I like it. Awesome. We have gotten to the end. I'm going to leave myself a nice long tail. Cut and fasten off. And now we have our tail. To make our feet, I'm going to use black yarn. I'm going to start with that magic ring. Go ahead and go to the beginning of the video if you still need some help making the magic ring. I'm not going to go slow here. So I'll make our magic ring, chain 1, and then place those 6 single crochets in the loop, exactly like we did to start the body. So I'm going to make my single crochets. 1, 2. I know black yarn is a little hard to see on camera, but I am making 6 single crochets on here, exactly like the beginning of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. I'm then going to pull it tight. For the next round, we're going to be doing 6 increases. You might want to use a stitch marker for black yarn. I still think it gets in the way. I'm going to do our increases, which is again, those 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So our 6 are becoming 12. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, now let's put our marker in, which my cat took. Here we go. The last round is to single crochet 1 in every stitch. So you're just going to do 1, 1, 1, 1 of your 12 stitches. So at the end, you should still have 12. You got my marker for the last one. And then I'm going to leave a nice long tail because we'll be sewing these onto the body. Cut it and pull through. The ears are easy peasy. We just have to make the magic ring with 6 single crochets. So I'm going to do my magic ring, my chain 1, and my 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull it tight, and that's it. Leave a long tail for sewing. Cut, fasten off, and you'll need to make 2 ears. Assembly time. For the ears, you're going to put your black tails on the tapestry needle. And I'm going to let you in on another little secret. It doesn't matter how you sew things on as long as they stay put. That's all that matters. I'm going to place the ears Hey, go somewhere else. I'm going to place the ears on the color change line between white and gray, above the eyes. I'm going to poke through the body, then through the ear, through the body, and through the ear. Until you're happy with it, and then poke it out anywhere else on the body. Repeat with the other tail so that the ear is super nice and secure. Because I like to go right back to the beginning to make sure it's nice and strong, and then stick the tail out anywhere else. I'm gonna cut the yarn. And then you can poke it through the body. And we have little ears. For the legs, I don't put stuffing in it, but you can if you would like to. I just think with black yarn, it makes it a little difficult. You can also use extra black yarn as stuffing though. I'm gonna trim my middle tail, leaving about 1 inch, just so it's a little bit out of our way. And then I'm gonna put it on our tapestry needle. This is the bottom. Place my foot on, exactly where I like it. Yeah, right around there. And then we're gonna sew it to the body, however you want. I like to go from the foot to the body, straight up only through the foot. So through foot and body, and back up to the same stitch in the body, all the way around. And again, you can add stuffing or black yarn to make it a little firmer if you would like. My last stitch of the body, poking it through, or the last stitch of the body, last stitch of the foot, cut, poke it back through. Repeat with the 4 other little feet. The tail is very much like the ear. Put the pink on the needle, line them up, and it's gonna go right in the back, right over where you closed up the body. So if when you closed it up, it was a little messy, no problem. This kind of hides it all. That was one. I'm gonna do with my other tail. Check to see how strong it is. Yeah, needs a little bit more. I think sewing's a little easier if you like hold it in your lap. So if you've been working on a desk, you might want to stop for a moment, place it on your lap. Amazing. I still need to make another ear, 3 little feet, but I think we have a mighty cute possum. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made Scooter the possum. I hope you had a lovely time. If you did, if you could please like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps grow, and so I can continue to provide more tutorials, and my channel just keeps on growing and reaches people who want to learn how to crochet. You can stay up to date on everything happening at Lazy Llama Creations at our website down below, Shop Lazy Llama, as well as TikTok, where I post all the updates and everything that's coming and happening. And we have a lot of things coming, and you'll want to be a part of them. Thank you so much for joining me as we made Scooter the possum. I will see you in the next video. Bye.